3 months ago, I deleted every social media app, stopped responding to most messages, and disappeared from my normal life. Today, I'm unrecognizable. Not just physically, though that changed too. I'm talking about my mental clarity, my income, my entire daily existence. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact 90-day monk mode protocol that took me from scattered and reactive to focused and intentional. But here's what most people get wrong about disappearing. It's not about running away from your life. It's about removing everything that's preventing you from building it. I'm Dalai Lama, and this protocol combines traditional monastic principles with modern execution frameworks. And what I mean by that is this. Monks have understood focus and transformation for thousands of years, but they weren't trying to build businesses or create content or navigate the chaos of the digital age. So I took what works from that ancient wisdom and merged it with what actually produces results in 2026. The result is a system that doesn't just change your habits, it changes your identity. And once your identity shifts, everything else becomes automatic. Most people are operating in a state of constant reaction. Their phone buzzes, they check it. Someone sends a message, they respond immediately. A notification appears, they click. Their entire day is dictated by external stimuli rather than internal direction. And here's what they don't realize. Every time you respond to someone else's priority, you're not just losing time, you're fragmenting your attention. You're training your brain to operate in distraction mode. You're building neural pathways that make deep focus almost impossible. Think about it like this. Your attention is a spotlight. When it's focused on one thing, it's powerful. It creates heat. It illuminates. But when that spotlight is constantly moving, ping, notification, ping, message, ping, news alert, it's closely becomes weak, diffused, ineffective. Most people live their entire lives with a diffused spotlight. They wonder why they're not making progress. They wonder why 3 months go by and they're in the exact same place. It's because their attention has been hijacked. Look, I'm not judging this. I lived this way for years. I thought I was being responsive. I thought I was staying connected. I thought I was keeping my options open. What I was actually doing was letting everyone else write my schedule while I pretended to be in control. And the crazy thing is, society rewards this behavior. We call it being available. We call it being a team player. We call it networking. But really, it's just giving away your most valuable resource, your attention, to whoever asks for it loudest. The modern world is designed to keep you in this state. Every app is optimized for engagement, which is just a polite word for addiction. Every platform wants to be your default. Every notification wants to be urgent. And if you don't intentionally design a life that protects your focus, you will spend decades responding to other people's priorities instead of building toward your own. That's not a maybe, that's a guarantee. So monk mode isn't about escaping the world. It's about reclaiming your attention so you can actually engage with the world on your terms instead of on everyone else's terms. Here's how the 90-day protocol works. It's divided into 3 phases, each lasting 30 days, and each phase has a specific purpose. Phase 1, days 1 through 30, elimination and detox. This is the hardest phase. This is where most people quit, because this is where you remove everything that's been giving you cheap dopamine and false comfort. Social media goes, not just using it less, deleted, off your phone. If you need it for business, you access it once a day from a computer for 20 minutes maximum. That's it. Unnecessary communication goes. You're not responding to every message immediately anymore. You batch your responses. You check messages twice a day maximum. And you let people know, I'm in a focused work period for the next 90 days. Response times will be slower. Distractio. NS go. That means Netflix binges, mindless YouTube scrolling, news consumption beyond what's absolutely necessary. All of it. Now, I know what you're thinking. Dolly, that sounds miserable. And yeah, for the first week it is. Your brain is going to rebel. You're going to feel bored. You're going to reach for your phone constantly out of habit. But here's what happens around day 10. The boredom starts turning into clarity. Your mind stops looking for external stimulation and starts generating internal ideas. You start noticing things you've been too distracted to see. By day 30, you've broken the addiction. Your baseline mental state has shifted. You're no longer operating in constant reaction mode. Phase 2, days 31 through 60, building and creation. Now that you've cleared the noise, you start building. This is where you establish the systems that will carry you beyond the 90 days. You implement your priority ladder. You create morning routines that are non-negotiable. You start working on the one project that will actually change your trajectory. This phase is about momentum. Every day builds on the previous day. You're stacking small wins. You're developing skills. You're making progress that's actually visible. Phase 3, days 61 through 90, integration and acceleration. The final 30 days is where everything clicks. Your systems are automatic now. Your focus is sharp. Your output is high. This is where you see exponential results from the compound effect of the previous 60 days. By day 90, you're not the same person who started this process. And that's the point. Now let me break down the actual daily structure I use during monk mode. Because theory without execution is just entertainment. Sacred time. I wake up at 5 a.m. Not because I'm some productivity psychopath, but because this is the only time of day when the world isn't demanding anything from me. No messages, no calls, no interruptions. First 30 minutes, meditation and breath work. This isn't optional. This is what sets the tone for everything else. I'm clearing my mind, centering my energy, preparing my focus. Next 30 minutes, movement, either a walk or light exercise. This gets blood flowing and gives my subconscious space to process ideas. Then 3 hours, deep work on priority 1. This is my highest leverage activity, the thing that will move the needle most. For me right now, that's creating content and building my program. For you, it might be different, but whatever it is, it happens here. First thing, before anything else can steal your attention. During this block, my phone is in another room. My computer has no notifications. I'm offline unless the work specifically requires research. This is pure, focused creation. Midday block, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., maintenance and connection. After the morning block, I take a break. I eat breakfast. I check messages, but on my schedule, not as a reaction to notifications. Then I have another 90-minute work block. This is priority 2 work. For me, that's things like client calls, content editing, system optimization. Important work, but not the needle-moving creation from the morning. Afternoon block, 12 p.m. to 3 p.m., input and recovery. This is when I consume. I read. I listen to podcasts. I study. I'm intentionally feeding my mind with high-quality input that will improve my output tomorrow. I also use this time for exercise, usually a more intense workout than the morning movement. This maintains physical health and processes stress. The key here is that consumption happens after creation. Most people do it backwards. They consume all morning and wonder why they have no original ideas. You need to create before you consume. Otherwise, you're just regurgitating other people's thoughts. Evening block, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., light work and planning. Another 60 to 90-minute work block, but this is lower stakes work. Administrative tasks, planning tomorrow, responding to non-urgent messages, organizing projects. This is also when I allow myself to check social media if needed for business purposes. But it's contained, it's bounded, it doesn't bleed into my focus time. Night block, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., life and rest. After 6 p.m., work is done. This is for relationships, for cooking real meals, for genuine rest. I'm not grinding until midnight. I'm not squeezing every last drop of productivity from my day. Because here's what most people don't understand about monk mode. Rest is part of the protocol. Recovery is where growth happens. If you're just grinding without rest, you're not in monk mode. You're just in burnout mode with a spiritual sounding name. Before bed, 30 minutes of journaling and reflection. What worked today? What didn't? What am I focusing on tomorrow? This closes the loop and prepares my subconscious for the next day. Then, lights out by 10 p.m. Because 5 a.m. mornings require 7 hours of sleep minimum, non-negotiable. This structure does something crucial. It removes decision fatigue. Every day I know exactly what I'm doing and when. There's no, should I work now or later? There's no, maybe I'll just check one thing. The system is already in place. I just execute. And that's the difference between people who transform in 90 days and people who stay stuck for years. The ones who transform have systems. The ones who stay stuck have intentions. Let's be specific about what disappearing actually means, because this is where most people get soft and make exceptions that destroy the entire protocol. Social media, scrolling. Gone, completely. If you have business accounts, use scheduling tools and check analytics once a week, maximum. But the app doesn't live on your phone anymore. News consumption. You don't need to know everything happening in the world right now. If something is truly important, you'll find out. The constant news cycle is just anxiety fuel disguised as staying informed. Reactive communication. Stop being available 24/7. Set specific times when you respond to messages. Let people know your response time is now measured in days, not minutes. Real friends will understand. Everyone else wasn't adding value anyway. Low-value relationships. This is harsh but necessary. There are people in your life who drain your energy without contributing anything meaningful. During monk mode, you don't have bandwidth for them. You're not cutting them off forever. You're just recognizing that for the next 90 days, you need to be selfish with your energy. Entertainment that numbs. Netflix binges, mindless YouTube, endless podcasts while you do nothing with the information. All of this goes. If you're consuming content, it should be intentional and educational, and it should lead to action. Comfort that stagnates. Late mornings, sleeping in, hitting snooze, starting your day reactive instead of proactive. All of this creates a momentum of mediocrity. Now, I'm not saying you become a robot. I'm not saying you never have fun or relax. What I'm saying is that for 90 days, you prioritize focus over comfort. You prioritize building over consuming. You prioritize intentionality over convenience. And here's the thing. After 90 days, you won't want most of this stuff back, because you'll have experienced what's possible when you're not constantly distracted. You'll have built something real. And going back to your old patterns will feel like voluntarily returning to prison. The first objection. Dolly, this sounds extreme. I can't just disappear from my life for 3 months. And you're right. You can't disappear from your responsibilities. If you have a job, you still show up. If you have family, you still engage. Monk mode doesn't mean abandoning your obligations. What it means is disappearing from everything that isn't an obligation or doesn't move you toward your goals. And when you actually audit your life, you'll realize how much falls into that category. Second objection. What if people think I'm being rude or distant? Let them. Seriously. The people who matter will understand. The people who don't understand don't matter. Your life is not a democracy where everyone gets a vote on how you spend your time. Third objection. What if I miss out on opportunities? You won't. Real opportunities don't expire in 90 days. And the opportunities you create by being focused and productive far outweigh whatever you might miss by being less available. The truth is, most of these objections are just fear. Fear of being alone with your thoughts. Fear of confronting how much time you've been wasting. Fear of what you might discover about yourself if you actually gave yourself space to discover it. But that fear, that's exactly why you need to do this. Let me tell you what actually happened during my first 90-day cycle. Day 1 through 10. I felt like I was missing out on everything. My phone felt like a phantom limb. I kept reaching for it out of habit. I was bored. I was restless. I questioned if this was worth it. Day 11 through 30. The fog started clearing. I wasn't checking what everyone else was doing anymore. I started having original thoughts again. Ideas that weren't just reactions to other people's content. My morning work sessions became genuinely productive, instead of just me staring at a screen hoping for inspiration. Day 31 through 60. This is when things got real. I launched a program I'd been planning for months, but never had the focus to execute. I wrote more content in these 30 days than I had in the previous 6 months. My income doubled. Not because I was working more hours, because the hours I was working were actually productive. Day 61 through 90. Everything clicked. My systems were automatic. My focus was razor sharp. I wasn't fighting myself anymore. I wasn't negotiating with myself about whether to work or procrastinate. I just worked. And then I rested. And then I worked again. By day 90, I had built more in 3 months than most people build in a year. Not because I'm special, but because I removed everything that was preventing me from building. And here's the kicker. After the 90 days ended, I didn't rush back to my old habits, because I didn't want them anymore. I had tasted what focused creation feels like, and going back felt like choosing to be asleep when you could be awake. That's what this protocol does. It doesn't just change your schedule, it changes what you want. So here's what I want you to do. First, decide. Are you actually doing this, or are you just watching videos about doing it? Because there's a massive difference. If you're doing it, pick your start date right now, not someday, a specific date. Write it down. Tell someone who will hold you accountable. Second, drop a comment below with 2 things, your start date and your one biggest goal for the 90 days. I read every comment and I want to see who's actually committing to this. Come back in 90 days and report your results in the comments. Let's build accountability together. Third, if this resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe. I'm releasing more content on focus, systems, and transformation. Don't miss it. I'm Dalai Lama. Disappear for 90 days. Become unrecognizable. Start now. Peace.